We tend to believe that nobody notices when we're not honest with ourselves as long as we're honest with the others. Let me ask you a question. How can you be honest with others when you're lying to yourself? I know that it might be stirring something good or something not so good in your conscious mind, and you're like, who are you to tell me that? Well, I'm here to share my heart with you. That's the way to actually experience the true power of physical honesty, to start being honest with yourself first. That's the only honestly way to go about it. We've been somehow reprogrammed over time, and if how kind of the proof why we're being reprogrammed, what, like, if you can picture yourself with being bringing yourself back to being a kid, or experience some experiences with kids, they usually are honest with themselves, and they sharing that honesty with the others because they don't know how to lie it. Until they start being put to more and more expectations and traditions and programs that has to fit certain format, and then they start manipulating, being paying more attention to things that they actually shouldn't be paying attention, making sure that they meeting the expectations of others, and putting themselves at last, losing themselves in that process of attempting to making sure that nobody is hurt and hurting ourselves in the process. And at some point, it's getting to the point that our body remembers, and our body coming to that position that enough is enough, and you have get to start making more conscious choices and stop operating so much on that subconscious and satisfying everybody else's needs but yourself. So that's what body are for, and many times we also even creating more resistance when our body beyond some gentle signals in our body that you get to start paying attention. We with modern technologies, with modern medicine, we tend to somehow attempt to mask that symptoms, to actually create more ease by taking some pill, another pill, to relieve some of that pain, and not somehow looking and paying more attention of what is really going on a deeper level, to create that transformative effect, to create more of that lasting effect, more of the lasting inner peace, more of the lasting love, more of the lasting joy that you so desire, to moving through those painful and challenging experiences, even if it gets to the point that your body wanna pain giving you attention. And I'm not saying to create so much pain that you don't know what to do with it, but becoming more proactive to really face yourself, and seeing, uh, like, putting some reflections, what is really going on. Are you really just want to use that surface level, and living on that surface, and implementing some surface level things, and living on those buzzwords that are so popular, that something or somebody will relieve you from your own pain, and actually looking more within to really transform all that pain and suffering, and experience really true power of that physical honesty, which starts with you, and then can actually ripple to the others. When you will keep the words with you, when you will learn how to be truly honest with yourself, and not just when your body actually redirecting you for that, but paying more attention to those more subtle symptoms in your body and not masking them, and being those symptoms being your guides, that it's time to return back to you, to become more honest with yourself, and ripple that to the others. It's not the other way around, that as long as I will pretend to be honest with the others, and nobody will notice that I'm not honest with myself. People become also more aware or awakened, and can actually start noticing uh, when you're not honest with yourself. It will create some kind of mishaps, because all of a sudden you will attempt to control, you will attempt to manipulate things that are out of your control, the situations, how you behave, how you act. When you start putting yourself under so much pressure of that performance, that things have to be certain way, you will lose yourself even quicker, and it will be a detrimental to that. At some point your body, your mind will be giving in, and begging you for returning back to you, to experience more of that ease and freedom, because that's how you can experience. I know that with all the pain, you might be like, even if a temporary relief, I will go for it. I will do no matter what, just to even have that temporary relief of the pain, of that pressure, to catch my breath. And I know how challenging, especially those days, of those stimulations of our mind and of our bodies, with all that is happening in this world, with technology that actually is supposed to bring more of that freedom, and it's actually attempts of being more over controlling and overstimulating our minds and our bodies, to attempting to catch up with those trends, technological trends, all those social medias that and different channels that are keep being formed. They actually overutilize and misuse, to actually create more detrimental, unfortunate situations in the families, especially for the younger generations, the mid generations, and also older generations that are getting involved, because younger generation, they feel that they cannot go ahead if they're not a part of that, and keep up with with those advances. The mid-age, trying to be more understanding, and having a connections with the younger generations, with the kids, attempting to learn, and they feel that they will be left behind if they don't learn certain things, and don't not getting themselves involved. And the older generation don't want to also feel behind, and attempting in the really older years to learn those technological advances to the best of their abilities, even a simple one, so they can feel some connections and relevance in this world. So, like I just described, you can see how detrimental that could be, living in that we all living in that light, and not really being truly honest. That the really true desire is to experience the honesty and expansion of our presence and connections, and we attempting to somehow going for even a fraction of it, that becoming more fraction and more fraction of that temporary solution, instead of looking for more of the lasting solutions to issues that being kind of formed unconsciously. And it's time to start paying more attention of and listening to our body, what our body is trying to tell us, what the environments we are creating or attempt allowing to control us, to create more of that disconnection instead of the connections to our inner wisdom, where we have all the answers that we need. Our body is very intelligent, and it's not so limited as our brain, and it's so easy to get yourself in your mind and disconnect from your body, and to sometimes for the purpose of creating that ease. And that could be a very temporary solution, and can even create more dis-ease the more you are holding to your head and disconnecting your body and not paying attention what is happening, how your body is trying to communicate with you, and sending you signals. Hey, pay attention. Pay attention to me, so I can actually help you out of what is happening, and really create more of that lasting experience, lasting freedom, lasting peace, lasting love, lasting joy, lasting light, that you can put more in your body, instead of dimming that light, and dimming the love, dimming the joy, dimming the compassion, and going like that chicken without the head. Will be dancing in all kinds of directions, and don't have the directions or meaning at all, and it can be becoming very empty and very overwhelming. And it's happening for the younger generation. It's really sad how much of that is happening for the mid generation, where we would like to kind of raise ourselves more, and feeling overwhelmed in our bodies because of all those extra adventures, and it's beyond the technological parts, and feeling some absolution because of the technology, that things have to be a certain way, and the higher expectation. And that's what I also want to bring, that those expectations are growing, and that we allowing for that expectation to run our life. Many we already inherited based on the environment that we grew up, that we putting ourselves with. But at some point, our mind also start forming some expectations based of some observations, and most likely that observation was maybe some light was trying to enter our awareness, and we thought that we will do better, and we will put ourselves in even more higher standards, and create our own expectations that will help us. But many times what is happening, if they created from the disconnections, from over-analyzed and overstimulated mind, they might be actually detrimental ones to our body. When we're not paying attention and not listening to our body, those extra expectation and higher standards will somehow be eventually put to repeated multiple times, will be put to our subconscious, and until we and we stop paying attention, and in all that disconnect keep just running and pushing ourselves forward, and all of a sudden until the body is start collapsing totally, we eventually might start paying more attention of what is happening and willing to take some reflections and some inventory of what we actually subconsciously were doing, and creating more conscious awareness of what is happening, why we experience what we experience, and getting more to that inner wisdom of what it really truly means to experience that physical honesty when and listening to our body, and not just being so drawn to listen to our disconnected mind that gets to be a connection. I'm not saying that not using mind at all. What I'm proposing is to create a connection, mind and body connection, and with your heart as well. That cohesion is what allowing you to access your inner wisdom, and access your true self, to help you to stand in your true power and using your voice and making a true difference for yourself and for others, and really get you to that potential, and living your legacy, and not just attempting that somebody of living like you, like we living in the disconnected world, will somehow extract some legacy out of that. It's not part of legacy. It's a part of honestly, um, dissolution of things that shouldn't be in the first place. And a lot of us, because being in such in our mind those days, holding for a dear life, to somehow clinging that it's not safe to allow ourselves for new experiences, to trust more our body beyond our mind, our heart, to utilize our inner wisdom, our intuition, to make the more conscious choices that will serve us, and that will serve others in such a powerful and empowering way, because that's kind of the purpose we get to explore, and to wake up to that potential of becoming a best version of ourselves, to be of true service to others without that personal suffering, and running subconsciously, and not paying attention of what is really happening, and creating more of that, putting more into subconscious, utilizing what we have to the power of the physical honesty, will that it will becomes like a second nature, will create more of that connections, more of that immunity against those old programming that are in subconscious, because we start transforming those programs and implementing to the putting them even in more subconscious, because well, that's our operating system. So, and we can that's where we actually can start implementing more of our control that we have, because we so tend to control our circumstances, to control outside environments, attempting to create the personas that will fit that word, disconnected word, and losing ourselves in the process, and lying to ourselves, and feeling that we don't have other options. We do have the choice. We have the free will to actually to drop those manipulations and attempts of control, and start returning back to ourselves, to our home, to standing in our true power, using our voice to make that true difference for ourselves and for others, to have a better understanding how we operate on much deeper level than what is in our mind, but tuning more to that inner wisdom of our body, tuning more to that inner wisdom in our hearts, to have a much better and truthful discernment of and not just interpretation from our minds, what we potentially feeling, and judging ourselves and guilting ourselves with and not able to move forward, and creating even more overwhelm for our body and our mind, but tuning more to discern that maybe it's not what we actually feeling, or that's how our mind interpreted some feelings that we experience, because out of that disconnect is our mind is trying to keep us safe, and will do whatever it feels safer for us to accept, than creating sometimes even some discomfort, to actually experience more of that comfort. Because, well, when we're trying something new, and after especially years of that artificial comfort, might be some discomforting, and those days also are so creating a lot of discomfort that can be overwhelming, and then not to be against, but to actually not to disconnect more, but actually to connect more. And that's also many times our mind and other people that are not so conscious and wanted to kind of control and manipulate still, because they're losing that ability day by day. They possibly will try to convince you that you are that you get to still be disconnected, and not attempting to connect deeper within, because you might actually be scared what you will find out, that truth might be painful, and the honesty is not something you get to kind of keep playing in, attempting the integrity. And that integrity, even that word itself, I also felt that it's my big core value of integrity, and learning over even the last few days that integrity has some deeper meaning. Integrity is being integral part, but integrating is even probably the best I could describe with that word, to bring that inner wisdom, that honesty. It gets to come from the integrity of our and connection, deeper connection with our mind, our body, our heart, to experience that integrity. Many times it becomes a surface and buzzword. Well, you have to have the integrity, and many times with the judgment of the expectation, depending whose expectation are you trying to play, and which expectations you possibly form based on that disconnect, that you felt you can do better with your expectations, and putting instead of ease on yourself, you had that intention of putting the ease, but created even more pressure and tension of when they were created, that expectation from inherited expectation, from the from somehow avoiding potential pain and discomfort. They will not be leading you to experience that true power of physical honesty. What will help out is that connection, that integrity within, to experience that outside, and it could create some beautiful ripple effects for you, make that true difference for you, and make that true difference for yourself. So I'm so passionate of co-creating more in that conscious ability, to see what is behind, and not to judge that, but to create that conscious awareness of what is behind, what is creating that upheaval, and how that awareness utilize that to take some aligned actions to create more of that presence, more of that connection within, more of honesty with self and with the others, and really enjoying that stand in the true power, uh, and using true voice uh, beyond somebody else's expectations, or expectation that were created out of the wrong intentions, but start creating those things out of the right expectations. And the right is from that inner knowing, when you know what is right for you, and not what will be kind of judged by the others, because that's another big part that we're living in, that fear and avoiding pain, that we not that we many times our worst critics, but also in that fear of the judgment of others, that can really do a number of ourselves, where we attempt to give our power away to others, to create more of that ease, with the hope that will create more ease, but actually can create even more upheaval, when it won't be enough, that somebody will drain us from our energy and our power, and they won't be enough for them. They wanted more, and at some point we start realizing that we won't be able to give them more, and we already drain uh, out of our energy, and don't understand why they even expecting even more of us when we already drain. And at that point, that might lead you to some awakening moments, that maybe it's time to return back to you, to recharge yourself, and start seeing things from a different perspective, that your power is for you to stand in, and not just giving away. You get to actually radiate and ripple that power to others. That's the true gift that you can give to others, by doing that, instead of sacrificing and self-suffering yourself for the benefits of others. And I know, especially for visionary women, and leaders who has a lot of responsibilities, might be still kind of work in progress, that it cannot be that simple. Many times we are overcomplicating things with our human mind, and things are not that complicated. We just get to come to that realization many times through a lot of upheavals, a lot of hard experiences, burning ourselves in our mind, frying our nervous system, uh, depleting our energy in our body, to come to some deeper realizations, what I hear, why I'm here, what I get to kind of experience, to experience more of that integrity, more of that power of physical honesty. And today is more of that emphasis of that physical honesty, to really experience like that wholeness. There are more elements, and I've been kind of sharing a little bit, and putting a lot, even some emphasis on the mental and emotions, and there is spiritual components to the honesty. I've been called to share on a weekly basis words that bring more of that returning back to yourself, to your home, that actually for this fourth month this year, starting with age, to help you kind of bring that message to you on beyond your mind, but for your heart to open, and your body to feel safe, and realizing that that's how you can return home with experience that power within, power of honesty, power of happiness, power of humility, power of harmony. Those are the words so far. Looking forward, what others words will be revealing to somehow create that connections, to experience more of that homey experience where your power lies, where you can ripple that to the others, where you making a true difference for yourself and for others, and building and living your legacy on a daily basis, and not just leaving that for a chance that maybe somebody will remember you for something. You consciously creating that on a daily basis and making a huge difference for yourself and for others, and can, when time comes, can live that word without transition to with less regrets, and feeling more fulfilled and satisfied with what you were able to create in this world, and what the difference you are making, and enjoying your life to the fullest. So please hit notification and subscribe. The more the merrier. I usually trying to come on Thursdays with the live broadcasts. There are some limitations. I've been using third part application, which actually becoming even more expensive to have the paid version of it. So I'm utilizing a free version to for the YouTube to allow me to stream those messages, because apparently there is certain limit at what point I can go live directly on the YouTube channel. I have to have certain number of subscribers. So when the messages resonates, when you feel that might be sharing even with those messages with others, might be of support and inspiration and empowerment, feel free to share those and subscribe to the channel. So at some point I can reach that, even be the possibility of coming live and making more visibility for the channel, for people that need to hear that message, to start realizing that it's in their power to return back to their power and home, not just to benefit them, but to benefit others, and to really experience that true power of the physical honesty and beyond, and how the body can actually reveal that truth, and tap into that inner wisdom. So also looking to create more in the conscious, honest, and connective environment, that immunity against those unconscious forces, and also looking to co-create with some visionary women. So feel free to reach out. I believe I mentioned the link awaken-woman.com is the website where I'm also sharing weekly messages in a blog post. There are links to connect and explore a possibility how we can co-create together in the vision that I'm holding. However, I'm also open to hear what vision you might be holding, and how that through co-creation can take place, and how our dreams can be fulfilled. So and visions can be fulfilled. And in that through co-creations along each other, or really coming together. So, without further ado, sending so much love, joy, peace, light, compassion, and see you around soon. Take care.